Color Commentary. I'm Mark Allen, and this is going to be the first of three Black Friday haul videos. Why three? Well, like I did last time when I got a big haul, I chopped it up into more easily produced and more easily consumed videos, shorter. 10 to 12 to maybe 15 minutes instead of a big 30-minute or more video. And so just easier for everyone, myself included. But I did have a great Black Friday, got a great haul, a big stack of books, and it also just kind of made sense to break it up into these three parts because I had a good stack of 50-cent books, which we're going to look at tonight, had a good stack of dollar books, and had a good stack of $5 wall books from Wizards Asylum Comics and Games. And so anyway, we're going to start with my 50-cent stack. 50-cent books from Shadow Mountain Comics in Tulsa, a relatively new outfit, but also just a great place to go. And they have lots of turnover, and they have lots of dollar, and depending on their sales, 50-cent books, and they have lots of turnover in those books. And so anyway, just by the way, shout out to my family for this great Christmas backdrop. We got the tree, we got the stockings. You can't see it, but we got the little fireplace. Faux fireplace stove or heater down here. But anyway, it's just kind of nice and festive. We left the Hulk up because, you know, he's green. He's festive. But anyway, so we start with the $5 wall books, and we start off with a short run here of Solar, Volume 1 from Valiant Comics. 1995, I believe, maybe 96. But you know, this is one of those when the Valiant titles came out. I've started on some of them and stayed with them for probably 5 or 6 issues, and then just kind of fell out of interest. You know, Solar, it was okay, it was fine, but it just didn't appeal to me as much as beginning with issue number 46 when Dan Jurgens took over the writing and the art. Inked by Dick Giordano, one of the greats of the comic industry. But so I went ahead and I remember reading this back in the 90s and just really being impressed with this run, this 5-issue, let's see, yes, it was a 5-issue, you know, just storyline. And I don't want to give too much of it away, but there's a beautiful Dan Jurgens cover on Solar number 46. Another one there, Dan Jurgens, inked by Giordano. And then here's a great, now I love white covers, and these were all 50 cents. I love white covers, and this is a great white cover, but issue number 48, Solar issue number 48, volume 1, just to kind of give you an idea of what the story was. Solar being kind of disillusioned with who he was and the world that he lived in, created a new world. And I'm actually going to be doing an affordable firsts from this run. But the thing about this 5-issue run is that normally, here's number 49, normally I never could find these all together. I'd find 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them, but if I can't find the whole run of the story, I won't read it. And it's a story I haven't read for well over 20 years. And so it was great to find it again, finally, just one after the other right there. I've already read them again, and I'm going to actually keep these. I like Dan Jurgens' work. He's one of those artists that does bigger-than-life type of work. But anyway, so it's a great story. I will be doing an affordable firsts before too long from issue number 46. But anyway, so there's Solar. Now, I picked this up. Now, this is a relatively new comic. In fact, it's a 2020 comic. This is not on my radar at all, but it was a variant, and I will sometimes get variant covers. And also the subject matter on the cover, I couldn't resist it for 50 cents. There's not a lot I would resist for 50 cents. Black Cat number 12, variant cover, behold, the Iron Cat. I can't wait to read this and find out, well, is this the cat? Is this the Iron? You know, did Tony Stark help her with this armor, or is this? You know, I've got lots of questions. There's a beautiful cover there, and just great concept. I think a little ridiculous, but you know, everyone in the Marvel universe gets a suit of armor at some point, don't they? I believe they do. Now I'm slowly but surely going back and getting the Sal Buscema run on the Incredible Hulk, 70s and 80s. And this one, I just always have admired Sal Buscema's artistic run on that title. This is Incredible Hulk number 295. I know this is one of the ones where Bruce Banner is the Hulk, has control of the Hulk for a time, but slowly loses that control. And I love how they use the little icon up here. Month to month, he would become, first he is the consummate big green scientist, holding his beakers, and then he starts, dropping his beakers. Then he starts ripping off his clothes, and month after month, just gets more to the monster again. But this is a great Sienkiewicz cover, Bill Sienkiewicz cover of the Hulk versus Boomerang. So anyway, that's one of those that I know I've read before, but I'm going back and getting a lot of the Hulk issues. I want to get most to all of them eventually, but I'm starting with the ones that I remember reading as a kid and just really enjoyed. Now here's one that this one actually, for my knowledge of the Hulk run and through the late 80s, this one's from 1984, and I don't recognize it. It's one of the Mike Mignola issues after Byrne had his short but memorable run on the Incredible Hulk. But it's issue number 305 with the UFOs. That's two reasons why I bought it. Is because I didn't recognize the cover. I don't think I've ever read this one, and I love the UFOs. I had their first appearance, second appearance, and I just like the concept of that. The Fantastic Four's anti-Fantastic Four. I know a lot of people say, well, that's the Frightful Four. I actually think the UFOs fit that bill better because their origin is the same. And so anyway, I don't know if they've ever faced the FF or not. Someone let me know out there. But anyway, cool book there. I can't wait to read that. Now, I love the Marvel Ages because I love comic book history. And again, these are all 50 cents, but this talks about first of all, lots of reasons for me to like this Marvel Age. Paul Smith is one of my favorite artists of all time. That is a Paul Smith cover. I love that 2-issue miniseries that it's advertising there. I recently did an affordable first concerning that story because it had the ones who sit above in shadow. It's the first appearance of these very, very powerful, the only thing to call them, not Asgardian gods, but gods of the Asgardians. The gods of the Asgardians feared or worshipped or what have you. And so anyway, this is a copy of Marvel Age number 32 talking about that 2-issue series coming up at the time. So great stuff there. Also, this one was a no-brainer. I'm going to take this one out of the package. I like whenever the Marvel Ages would focus on something that was going to be historic, and you knew this was going to be historic. Anyway, this is the Wedding of the Year. Might have called that the Wedding of the Century because Spider-Man and Mary Jane, or Peter Parker and Mary Jane, finally get married, finally get hitched. Beautiful, beautiful John Romita Sr. cover on there. Just a great looking cover, great looking book. It presents very well, but and then also it had has a big write up on the event, has the 2 covers there, and one of course Spider-Man and Mary Jane with the Marvel heroes and Marvel villains, and then Peter Parker and Mary Jane with the supporting cast members there. And so, you gotta love that. But besides the beautiful John Romita piece on the front, I don't know who did this. This on the back, it's got somebody's signature on it, but I can't tell the signature. It's very stylized, but very, very nice back cover wedding shot there of Peter and Mary Jane. Maybe you can read. Maybe somebody knows who that artist is. I don't know who that is. But anyway, nice looking back cover there. And so anyway, Marvel Age number 54, the Wedding of the Year, and great Marvel, great John Romita work there. Now, don't get a lot of Bronze Age DC. This one I did simply because the character, I'd never heard of this character, and Mike Grell artwork inside, and also just the gloss on it. Now it does have a crease, but it is, I'll get to that. It is Green Lantern, Green Arrow, number 109. Look at the gloss. This is a beautiful book, but it does have a crease right here. And that's going to be a crease that is not going to come all the way out by pressing because I think there is just a bit of color breakage there. But it's still going to present well. It's still a beautiful book. But the Replicon, I'd never heard of the Replicon. That's kind of an interesting, it would be okay if it wasn't for, it seems that it almost looks like he's dark, coal skinned there, and then he has the pant waist, the waistband of his pants going down a little bit too far there. But I guess that's supposed to be part of his costume, the black, all black, because he has the wings, and it's like Batman with the ears and Batman colors up top, and then the Wonder Woman and the Flash. But interesting character, kind of like Marvel's Super Adaptoid. I imagine that's probably what the idea was there. But anyway, just a good-looking book, and so I like the Mike Grell artwork inside, of course, and just great stuff there. Mike, when you got Mike Grell, you've got a good time. You got great, enjoyable work there. So anyway, picked that up. Also picked up a book that I've always liked, and I've decided, I think I'm toying with the idea, certainly of going back for the characters that I like, but going back and just trying to get the whole run. Secret Origins. I already have number 1. I have 2 copies actually of number 1. Secret Origins number 2 with the Blue Beetle. I picked that up because I am reading the 80s, the 80s volume, the DC 80s volume of the Blue Beetle, and this figures into the beginning of it. And so I finally saw that for 50 cents. Again, you can't go wrong. Picked that up to get the story on those 2 Blue Beetles. Secret Origins number 3 with Shazam. That is Jerry Bingham doing that artwork. And Jerry Bingham is, to my mind, and when I look at his work, I think of him as a student of the Neil Adams School in a way, but love his Captain Marvel or his Shazam, whatever you want to call it there. But number 3 there, Secret Origins. And then Secret Origins, one that I've actually been looking for a while. Number 6, Secret Origins starring Halo and the Golden Age Batman. That one I've been wanting to pick up for a while. Primarily because the Batman story is Marshall Rogers and Terry Austin inking. So great stuff there. And so glad to have that in my collection again. I had it years ago, I believe. Of course, if I had $1 for every book I used to have, I could go back and buy every book I used to have. But anyway, there you go. Or every book I want anyway that I used to have. And so there's that. Now, these next ones, especially for 50-cent books, these are the ones that really I was most thrilled about. And I'm going to try to put them in kind of an ascending order. The first one is a Spire, or, well, it's not a Spire, it's a Crusaders Christian comic book. I have all of those, or maybe all but one of those. This is another one I found in it's such good condition. Very, very glossy. It's going to press nicely, but it's the nicest copy I've ever found. These books were really read. They were read. And whether they were read in churches and missions and homes, whatever, I imagine all 3, but very, very good reading. And this one is Scarface. And without going into too much detail, it's a story about a young boy who is badly just bullwhipped by a petty dictator because he didn't salute his Jeep when he went by, didn't salute the flags, the little flags on his Jeep. The guy, it's a true story, the guy gets out and just massacres this poor little boy, cuts him to ribbons with his whip. Well, he goes on to become a man of God and I believe not a politician, but a statesman and a representative of the kingdom of God. Just a great book, great story, because the guy was horribly scarred by that incident. So anyway, great gloss on that, great looking book, Scarface. Found that again. I've got this probably the 3rd or 4th copy of that one I have. I have a lot of these Crusader books just because they tend to be, I don't know, I like the stories of redemption. I like the stories of salvation and redemption. Some of them are a little over the top, yes, kind of like the I can't remember, John Chick books and pamphlets, but most of them are tamer than that. Now, this also was a 50-cent book. I was extremely happy to find this. Unfortunately, it is written in, Scott, the former owner, did sign his name to it more than once. But what this is Classics Illustrated number 144. This is the 1968 reprint of the 1958 initial issue, but well, not the initial issue. Issue 144, originally printed in 1958 and then reprinted in 1968. The First Men in the Moon. 50 cents for this. 1968 was the year I was born. And also, just this really neat cover. I love that strange looking, spiky headed, I don't know what you call that alien, but he is formidable looking. But what the neat thing about this is that this cover, I didn't realize that Classics Illustrated did this, but this is a cardstock cover. You know, it's not like the, you know, most of your comic book covers. I didn't realize that many Classics Illustrated or any Classics Illustrated were done that way. But anyway, so I'm really happy with this book. Really happy to find it for 50 cents. And The First Men in the Moon. All right. And now 2 more to go as far as 50-cent hauls. Again, I couldn't be happier. This was in the 90s. You had a lot of ash cans of the image. The image creators were turning out ash cans of their books and such as that. I'm not sure exactly what year this came out, because what it does is it reprints a lot of, it was 90s, but it reprints a lot of ads that says this image originally appeared in this publication, and it gives this date. But there's no date older than or more recent than 1995. So I'm guessing it's 1996 at the latest. But anyway, this is Barry Windsor Smith's The Freebooters, Young Gods, and the Paradox Man. There you go. Barry Windsor Smith's Freebooters, Young Gods, and the Paradox Man. Black and white ash can. And it's the same format that a lot of the ash cans were done. Cyberforce, and I believe Youngblood was done this way and everything. But this has just a lot of, I've always enjoyed Barry Windsor Smith's artwork, if not his storytelling, but his illustrations are just amazing. And so finding this ash can was just kind of, it was something I'd never seen before, or if I saw it, I'd forgotten about it completely. And so anyway, it was a nice find for 50 cents. I like that kind of thing because, again, it's kind of historic, and I'm not sure how many of those, they all may have seen actual print, but they didn't see print for long, I don't believe. But anyway, here's the last thing. This is a replica of something I chased after for several years and finally gave up on. But when I found this for 50 cents, I thought, this is great. I'll take this just for the heck of it. But this is a special collector's reproduction of Overstreet's Comic Book Price Guide #1. And this was put out by, I don't know who, I'm not sure who put this out. But anyway, found this, bagged and boarded. Reproduction of the cover of, you know, it's not very thick, obviously, but it is a reproduction of Overstreet's Comic Book Price Guide #1, published in 1970. And it's got all those, it's got prices, featuring original 1970 comic book prices from the dawn of fandom. And so, you know, of course, the reproduction of the cover is not going to be very good, but there's where you can see what these amazing Golden Age books cost and Silver Age books cost in 1970. Just a piece of comic book history. And I really enjoyed getting that. I would have paid $5 for that. But for 50 cents all day long. And so anyway, that's just the tip of my three-part Black Friday haul. Went obviously over 10, 15, 12, 15 minutes. Went to 18 minutes, but that's okay. But anyway, to be continued. Listen, this is Mark Allen with 4Color Commentary. If you haven't subscribed, appreciate if you do so. Like the video, comment on the video, share the video. But anyway, thanks for watching. Whatever you do, whatever you don't do, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.